Hey everybody, today is February 4th. I'm Mr. Sheridan. This is Earth Science for today. Hope everybody's doing well. It was exciting to see everybody yesterday who was able to come into school and do our in-person advisory yesterday. I think a lot of you were able to make a lot of progress on your presentations, and a lot of those got turned in. What I do want to talk about today is what we are going to do now, how we are going to move forward, and it has to do with that project that we just turned in. So let me share my screen with you. For those of you who are just jumping into Google Classroom, I do want you to jump into this assignment. What I've done is I changed this layout, and I'm sorry, I apologize. I will create a new assignment for this, but you can already start to work on this. So I added on to the instructional slide deck that I put together, which is this, where you had to create a fictional civilization, talk about their population size, the climate, natural resources, food sources, all that stuff. I wanted you to focus on three particular issues. Number one, how does the climate affect the population? How do natural hazards affect the population? And how do the natural resources affect your particular population? Then the trickier part really was that you needed to relate all three of those things. So how your civilization was affected by the climate, I wanted you to tell me how that was similar to something from human history. That if there was a civilization, and there was, that dealt with climate issues the same way that your civilization does, I wanted you to tell me about that. And the same goes for natural hazards and for in natural resources. So those are the three things that you were supposed to focus on. Now we're going to move this forward. What I would like for you to do is add on to the current presentation that you have. I will be grading these over from between today and over the weekend. So you will have a summative grade based on the presentation that you have already turned in. I will be going back and grading them. So you will get a grade for the last assignment. After that, you don't have to wait until then. I'm also going to give you another summative grade based on this. And what I would like for you to do is add on to your presentation on your particular civilization. I want you to move your civilization into a time like today. Okay? And what I would like for you to focus on, whether that I want you to spend a slide or two telling me how that changes your population. So you're going to have some sort of a transition slide that's going to say something like, fast forward 500 years, or, over time, my civilization, the population grew to this amount. They started to develop more technology. If a lot of your civilizations were either on an island, or it was something to do with where you were in forest type situations, or I had some folks who were doing cold weather places, like that were in the tundra or Antarctic, that sort of thing. But what I want you to do is to stay with the premise that you are talking about this type of civilization. I want you to move them forward into a more modern time where they are using a lot of the same technologies that we use today. And I want you to tell me about how it doesn't have to be exactly the same. I want you to tell me about it, though. Tell me about what technologies they've developed to deal with some of the issues that they've had. So we've developed as in the human race in the last 50 years, we've developed the internet and mobile phones and all types of different technology. So I want you to spend a few slides telling me about, just like you spent a few slides up here telling me about what your civilization was. I want you to tell me about how your civilization changed with this kind of fast forward in time, with whether they've moved to, if you had this civilization in a rural area, were there urban populations that developed? How has your population changed over that period of time as they've moved into an era where there is more technology? But here's what I really want you to focus on. I want you to focus on how your civilization, can reduce their global impact. How do they do things better than we did? Because right now we're dealing with global warming issues, we're dealing with pollution issues, we're dealing with all kinds of different things. With the way that our technology exploded over the last 150 to 200 years, I mean, we've started to create all of these issues around the earth. So what types of things can your civilization do? What are they doing to reduce their global impact? What are they doing to reduce the amount of pollution that they are sending into the atmosphere? Do they have the ability to actually change the atmospheric composition? I mean, if we had the ability to, collect carbon dioxide and turn it into oxygen, would we be able to do that right now? What types of things are they developing so that they can live in a place that is going to be more sustainable than the track that we're on as humans right now, where our temperatures and global are projected to continue to climb as our population also increases. So I want you to basically, this is just moving your civilization into modern times and incorporating technology. Some of you, and one of you especially, is your civilization is very technologically advanced. Well, what I want you to talk about then are these types of things. How can they reduce the impact that they're having on? I mean, you're still going to have waste. You're still going to have, discharge, that sort of stuff. Even if you're dealing with a spaceship, how is your population reducing its impact and not just leaving a bunch of space trash laying all over the place? How are they working to change that to make their world or their universe more sustainable? That's what we're trying to do. So what I want you to do is I want you to leave your project turned in. I want you to leave your assignment where it is right now. You can still open it. You can go into your Google Drive, find your Google slide deck and make a copy of it, and you can start building on it that way. So I want you to make sure that you still have your assignment turned in that was due yesterday, and then we're going to spend some time moving your civilization into the modern era and working to make sure that we are developing some solutions with our fictional civilization that maybe we could apply to what we are some of the issues that we're dealing with on Earth today. So that's the assignment that I would like for you to work on. We're going to continue to do this over the next over the next week or so. And I will start to introduce some topics that, some technology that is out there of ways that humans are actually working to reduce our impact on the earth, and that might be something that you can incorporate into your civilization. So with that, I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I want you to continue to work on this project and build on what you've already made. If you want to go back and make some changes to your other slides, you're welcome to do that. I am going to grade them as soon as I get into and have some time to get that done. So those were due yesterday. Do the best you can to make them as good as you can, and then start to build on this as you move your civilization into modern time using modern technology and what they can do to reduce their global impact. So hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will be here to take any questions. If you are not in our class today, make sure that you email me with any questions that you have. Hope you all have an awesome